everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I have a guest. It's
Hello.
backwards, so whichever way the guest is. I have a guest. His name is Gerald, and he has a YouTube channel called Tarot Stash. I highly
Yes,
recommend go and check him out for sure. But what I'm going
thank
to
you.
do is I'm going to hand it over to him. He's going to tell us what he does on his channel, what his specialty is, a little background, things that people are interested in. So go for it, huh?
Well, I do readings on my channel, of course. I do a variety of readings. I also like to be a guest on people's channel like this, so thank you. I do something called a laugh and learn, which is where we laugh while we learn something new. I am a curious person by nature. I'm always curious about what people are learning about breathing, crystals, grounding. So that's a lot of fun. Also, alongside of that is what I call the magic tool talk, which is a laugh and learn. Talk about people's spiritual practices and what they do to bring magic into their lives. So and that's a lot of fun. I also do casuals where we get to know people, we get to learn about them. I also host Caffeinated and Unfiltered, which are readings, but they are concise, blunt, very to the point, and quick, amongst other things. So, and I like my little stash tags, reminding
Me
everybody
too.
to
I am a
like,
props
share, and
person.
subscribe. Yes. Oh, yes. And thank you for having me here. The best chatters are watching. I also collect a lot of tarot decks. So the thing that is also there is know your limits and purchase responsibly. Don't buy a tarot deck just because I like it. So,
That is true. I was the first one to come on to the scenes to use tarot with keywords, right?
mhm.
A lot of people like I got a lot of backlash on that because a tarot reader is supposed to memorize every tarot card that they have. And I'm like, that's BS. I was like, I am not trying to have a memory, bank of a computer. And so
Yeah,
when I came and introduced that, I said, do not ever, ever apologize for your style of reading.
correct.
So I kind of changed the little talking point. Anyways, long story short, this blew up on Etsy. It blew up so much
Good.
on Etsy that the creator contacted me because every time somebody would purchase something, where did you hear this from? Sheila. So she was here seeing like she
How
got
fun.
lots and lots and lots and lots of comments on that. And so her and I we never collaborated, but she definitely gave somebody like I think it was some of them like if they purchased a lot from her or something like that, they gave her 20 cent on the back end where say, hey, since you heard from Sheila. So I thought that
Oh,
was
that's
pretty
nice.
cool.
That's nice.
So I
Well,
understand. Oh, go ahead.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's something also I've done. I've done tarot the stash way, where because I have a unique way of reading where it's channeled information, knowledge from the cards, looking at the cards, and Tarot the Stash Way is a series talking about thinking about tarot and how you might read tarot. And you're right, learning 78 meanings is hard. Learning what 156 if you do reversals is even
Yep.
more challenging.
Yeah.
So it was just encouraging people to create your little cheat sheets.
Yes.
So if you get a two of wands, you pull out the two, you pull out the wands. How do they relate?
Correct. And you talked about the intuitiveness about reading. So I completely understand that. So intuitively, this card could be upside down or down like this.
Mhm.
And intuitively, I already kind of know what that card is before I even turn it over. Now that I
Yes.
intuitively kind of know what that card is and then I turn it over, then it has words to help me direct me to a specific thing. The word is not there for me to read off of it and give you a reading. The word is there to highlight what the real meaning of it is, like all of those things. And I think that that is misdirected also to some history of our culture. You know, I know I squashed that. I'm like, that's it. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Well, and think about it also, if you have words on it, it gives you the ability to do bibliomancy, which is looking in a book, any kind of book, holding a message or a question in your mind, opening the book and then
Yes.
reading. Invariably, it will answer it. Oftentimes that was done with holy books, the
Yeah.
Bible in particularly.
That is very true. I forget. I have a book that I do that with actually, and I forget those little things that back in the day. I mean, I don't know about how old you are, but I'm almost 56, and so tarot reading back when I was 20 and 30 is totally. I mean, they had so much. I think a lot of it has been lost.
Yes. Well, and yes, I'm 56 as well. So it is one of those things that back in the day, we had what, 3 or 4 decks from which to choose.
Right.
Now there's so many different decks and it's overwhelming, or it can be overwhelming.
Yes, and it created the Gen Zers like us to go hog wild, and all of a sudden I have 150 decks, you know, because I'm
Oh,
like,
so you're just starting your collection?
you're correct. I'm at the low end.
I bought 64 decks in 2020.
Woo! Yeah, I went a little hard. Yeah, I get that because I'm like, oh, that one's cool. And they were so creative and they were so, you know, like unique and all of that. But I also got decks that did not resonate with at
Yeah.
all. And I go, oh, Sheila, see, this is where you need to consider your overspending right now, and you're
Yeah.
over wanting.
Yes. Well, and it is I curate my collection. So I know what type of artwork I like and what
Yes,
type of artwork I don't like. And I'm subscribed to a lot of people who do flip throughs. I've done flip throughs. Some of my most viewed videos are flip throughs that I've done. Um, I know by watching decks that they're really excited about, they're not going to resonate with me, and that's okay. There's room
correct.
for all of us.
Yes, yes, yes.
So,
And that is always the message. Is that
yes.
we never ever talk about bad about another reader. And you know, well, why? Because they're helping someone, and we have to argue, we have to honor that aspect.
I love that because it's really important. I've had people say, "Oh, should I create a channel?" And I'm going, "Yes, somebody needs to hear what you have to say. You
Correct.
may not know it. You may not realize it. It may not be when you're live. It could be in 5 years."
Correct. Yes.
So,
And so we want to honor all of us that do this in one
absolutely.
way or another. So
Mhm.
I know I get off on a tangent. So I was going to ask, what is your sign?
Okay. By Western astrology, I am a Scorpio, Cancer, Cancer. By True Sky or Real Sky, I am a Libra, Gemini, Gemini.
Oh, well, there you go. You have all of us.
Yes. Well, and because that's something that I learned about last year was looking at the Real Sky astrology, looking up and what's actually this where the signs are located. And so before that, Scorpio, Cancer, Cancer, everybody's like, well, that's a lot of water. You must be psychic. And I'm like, it's all I know.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. And of course, we always have a lot of fans to work with. He can do his. There you go. Yeah. We
one
have a
must
lot
always have a fan,
always. Always.
always. And not to mention, even sometimes one needs tiny hands to make a point, right? The world is big enough for all of us. That's the good thing.
It definitely. And that reminds me of Trump. So, anyways,
Yes. Well, yes. And fortunately, these are not orange.
yeah.
These are orange hands. So, but yes.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, everybody hang in there. We've got a really good treat coming in. Where he's going to do what is he gonna do with Ivana?
Check in with her, do some readings. One of the things that I am good at doing is connecting with ancestors, spirit guides, people who have crossed over. I find
Yes,
that it's surprising to me. I've learned this in the last year that, oh, I'm good at this. So I do it. I can do it for people.
definitely. So he's gonna what we call channel, I guess, Ivana. And we have a few questions, like how she died. And then we're going to do Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and we're going to also see what kind of message she has for us. And then we're going to do a reading after that. So stick with us, everyone. This is going to be fun. All right, before we go into the channeling, let's give a little bit of background of what's going on. What is your story?
So I'm the youngest of 12 children. As I like to say, mom and dad stopped when they got it right. And I actually have a bachelor's in fine arts. So where I was one of those kids that professors didn't know what to do with because I did painting, drawing, printmaking, and sculpture.
Mm.
They couldn't fit me into a box. Um, but while I was there, I was actually while I was studying, I got a job at a library. Once I got my degree, I had opportunities to go into a reference position. I went into management. I went into human resources. I did training and development, specifically management training for close to 18, 20 years of my career. The last 6 years I was there, they moved me around a lot because I went in and solved problems.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah, we intuitively know what's going on in the
oh
world and with
yes,
people. Absolutely.
oh
Okay.
yes.
So what we're going to do, first up, we're going to do Ivana Trump. And he's doing this cold turkey. Okay. I'm not going to give him any background or much of anything other than what he has accidentally heard in the media. Do you live here in the United States?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
making sure. So anything that he has heard outside of that, but our first question with him as he gets ready is, how did you die? How did you die, Ivana Trump? So I'm going to go ahead and hand that over to him. And
Okay. Um, it was questionable. It was I have the world and I have judgment. People were getting very judgy about what she should and should not do. And I have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so I have 4 cards down here. No, 5 cards down here. 4 of them are major arcana. I have the Wheel of Fortune, which tells me she was helped to cross over. I would say, um, yeah, she wasn't aware of it. Was somebody aware of it? Yeah, it was part of a bigger picture plan. So people may not like this, but she was ready to go. She was ready to move on. Um, somebody gave her the way out. Um, then I have the Hierophant. Now there's a lot of judgment going on, a lot of structures and questions being asked. The Hierophant for me is oftentimes the questioner, the one who's like going, well, why do we do that? What is that about? Um, I would also say with judgment, somebody's going to pay for this. So somebody is going to pay for it. Um, uh, and it's just in the beginning. I think that isn't there something going on with her casket, where casket was and all that stuff. Um, uh, Stuff's going to hit the fan when other things happen. There's going to be an there's going to be so much wielding of the swords and the scythes to clear things out, to try to get clarity around this. It feels very much like there is I keep wanting, I keep wanting to go, when are we doing this? When are we going to do this? Right now, people thinking about her as a distraction because it's taking them away from, someone who should never be president and was never president. Oh, sorry, opinion. Yeah.
So as we go through, that was excellent, by the way. What else do you get? Maybe uh in her own words, maybe what was she hiding? What were they trying to silence?
She had information that people didn't know she had. And because I have the Seven of Cups, which tells me she may not have been as uninformed as people expected. I have the Queen of Wands. She was going to actually shout out what was going on to try to prevent some things from occurring. And then I have the Judgment card again. She wanted people to know the truth. I don't exactly know what that truth is. But
So
okay.
did it pertain to Trump or the family, or if you can see if you can get a sense of that?
It's about Trump's money and the lack thereof. That it's not exactly what it is. And she knew about all of his affairs and everything like that, and what people were saying about them. They were all true. It's all true. So I'm going to shuffle cards again.
Yeah, any lasting information that you can pull up, that'd be awesome.
She has she sort of wishes people would leave her alone because she's done with this. She's done her part of this. And what was your question? Sorry, I went down the rabbit hole talking to her.
Anything else that you can pull from her, whatever she is saying, whatever message or lack thereof, or anything like that?
She's still putting pressure on people who she was going to tell. She's trying to get information to them, and somehow I don't know who those people are. And she's going to encourage people to do that. If you say this, then we'll give you that this for that approach. So if you do this, then you'll be off the hook for that. It's going to take longer than what people want. She says, and this is a bit of this is a long haul approach. So people still need to keep showing up, and I would even say wear them down much the same way that her ex-husband did. Wear him down. Use his techniques against them.
Well, at least she's on the other side. I think she always has more power. Anybody that has passed over has more power on the other side than they do on this side.
Yeah. I actually think
Influence.
I think she's probably showing up in people's dreams.
Good. I hope she's haunting the heck out of him.
I get the impression that that is partially what's happening, especially because he seems to be losing his cognitive abilities and much of his physical abilities. So
I just saw a picture of her sitting at his brain and eating his, like, she's not going to consume it, but like she's taking out as much energy from his brain as she possibly can.
and I just got this card where you notice that there's this spoon that has holes in it. That is funny because that's exactly what I was picturing.
Yeah.
It was like going, it's just like mixing it up. Let's see if we can make this, let's see if we can turn this spoiled soup into something that's not so spoiled.
Yes, like she's in there she's like stealing it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I have one more question. This is maybe Ivana can answer this, or maybe this is just something that you can just think about. But Ivana's a casket, which we heard that she was cremated, but then again, they had a casket, but it is also buried on Trump's property. A few things so he can get a tax break, but of course, then nobody can legally exhume her or the casket because it's on his property. He will never give permission for that. Now, what is in that casket? Because it was heavy for ashes when they were carrying this casket.
Well,
Any
here's something to think about is when he loses everything and people take possession of him, wouldn't they be able to exhume it because he no longer owns that property?
It would depend on if it goes to his sons or whatever. The only way that they would be legally be able to exhume something off of his property is if he loses it completely. And out of the family, whoever gives permission after that. If the taxpayers, if he's not paying the taxes and what is it called when you take possession because of not paying taxes? What is it called? Why?
Uh,
I
yeah.
know words just go.
Foreclosure, something like that.
Yeah, like a possession, like they take possession of it. If the
Mhm.
state takes possession of it because of lack of taxes or paying the taxes or something like that, then probably. But yeah, I was just wondering if you could see that there's anything in there. I know I did, and if you're not able to, I'll tell you my remote view that I had.
Well,
Maybe
the thing that I'm seeing is or what I'm hearing is there are lots of secrets buried in that casket. A lot of secrets. To which unfortunately she's not letting me know. However, I got this cup again, this card again, and I got the Wheel of Fortune, which always means it can hit the fan.
yeah,
Um, so, um, but she is trying to. Oh, look, and I got the Hermit, which is in a casket. Isn't that interesting?
that is very interesting.
So, um, I I
So I
would say, go ahead.
no. I want you to finish.
I think the silver dagger is in there. The thing that will finish him is
Ah,
hidden.
I did a remote view and there was stuff that was in there for sure. There's other stuff that was in there, but I did a remote view and I just set myself in the casket as I'm doing this remote view, right? And I'm looking all around and all I see is gold bars. I'm like, why do I see gold bars?
Mm-hmm.
And there was like gold bars stuck in there, paperwork, this, that, and the other. But the most thing that made it so dang heavy, because he was big in the 80s. Remember in the 80s where everybody had to buy in gold bars? That's the way of your future.
Yes.
Nobody can take your money if you do that. Like he emptied out her deposit box in the bank and brought all of that stuff and put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bet you that's what happened.
That makes a lot of sense, actually, because yes, that's is exactly what he would do.
Yeah, he emptied out her deposit box in the bank, that all the secrets and this, that, and the other, and that's what he put in that casket,
Yep.
including
Yeah.
the gold bars. Uh, I think we just cracked it.
Well, and I really think, and I because it's interesting because I got the Ace of Swords. This is why it's the sword that's going to finish him.
Yeah,
So if when somebody's going to be able to get that, it's going to be Excalibur. They're suddenly going to have a great deal of power and put things at rest.
good.
Yeah, it's
Good.
crazy. Yes.
All right. So next up is Ruth Gator Ginsburg. I've always messed up on that. Ruth. Everybody knows who Ruth is.
RBG.
RBG. There we go. There we go. So without he's going to also do this one a cold turkey, but he knows a little bit more about Ruth than normal, right? Because she was so fantastic. And the question is, what do you think? What does she think about all of this? And any words of encouragement that she has for us? And if there's anything that she is seeing on the other side that needs to be brought to light with us.
Um, she is not shy. She is making sure she is heard. I mean, she's like on okay. Um, she is there's a whole lot there's I wouldn't call it an army, but there are lots of beings on the other side who are rallying against many of the things that are going on. She's clarifying that she's actually rallying for people to support the things that need to be supported. They're getting rid of the bad stuff or the negative stuff by really inundating it with the positive. So she's just like when there's they're all right, I'm just gonna say it. So many people, so many beings are pissed. They have a stronger understanding of what's going on. They're trying to find the balance to get back to balance as quickly as possible so that there's no other um so that the so that the um collateral damage isn't severe. So and she uh, um okay, so she is a pretty pretty somebody has her there. She has somebody's ear, so she's just going and this and this and this and this and this and this and this. She really tried. She really tried to stay true and to broaden people's understanding, not just the other justices. She was communicating, and part of what she was disappointed in, she does not think she got out there enough. She's really, I'm sorry about that. Um, Yet she's glad that she was able to get out there as she did. Um, okay, your question, what's what does she think about what's going on?
Yeah, what
Uh,
is that's kind of yeah, I'll go for it. Oh, so sorry.
no, that's okay. The tower is coming up. It's going to get worse before it gets better, unfortunately. And sometimes when the key about this is when this happens, it is important to stick together and to go through the rubble and find the gems that are around, because those gems are things that we can carry with us. Those are the things that remain true regardless of whatever has happened. And okay, things do need to crumble down. They need to be rebuilt. It's not working. It is not working. There needs to be a strong plan. This is the Three of Wands. Um, there needs to be a stronger, clearer plan, one that is based upon reality instead of history, and looking forward instead of just only remembering the past. What are we doing for future generations? Um, and there are so many people who are out there who coming soon, they are going to be actually standing up and they're going to be heard because they're saying things loudly, they're saying things clearly, they're being articulate. That cannot be dismissed because the world has changed. And okay. The divine feminine is going to be coming full force. So hold on, kids. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Yeah, and I
So
think the divine feminine is not only just labeled to women. I think the divine feminine is that we're going to get softer and kinder and loving and more compassionate men in this world.
yes, yes. And this is going to be, it is going to be the, remember what we're trying to do. We're trying to allow something, we're trying to allow people to grow and evolve. And part of the ways to do that is to be curious and encourage them and
Yeah.
to recognize them and to say things like, I see you, I hear you. This is your choice. What do you want?
Yes.
Do you need somebody to talk to? Let's make that happen. And I agree with you. I think there's going to be some, she may be working on it. There going to be some, this is the King of Pentacles. There's going to be some big wigs who have some money who are going to be starting to put money where their mouth is. Um, I'm also hearing that they may be anonymous donors, and anonymous is fine, you cowards, but it's still money.
Yeah.
Um, because just because you believe in what's the best thing, um, stand proud with it and stand tall.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
short. I mean, she was
She
really
was little
short.
itty
She's
bitty,
yeah,
powerful, little itty bitty
yes,
woman.
yeah. So I keep getting this this need for people to stand tall, to stand on her shoulders to
Right.
get there. And money talks, unfortunately, or fortunately, and now putting that money toward the things that are going to actually help. This is the Six of Swords, to help people move on, let go of that past, and keep focus on what's coming. What's the next opportunity that is around for us?
Yeah.
Because, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
As we go through that, I was so heartbroken when she died, but I knew that she had to go. She stayed as long as possible. And I
mhm.
get that. You know, you can only stay until your body says, we're done.
Yes, and you know, the idea of the divine feminine is present in all of us.
Yeah.
And what's happening is it's overshadowed right now because of people who are using their megaphones and shouting, because they do not understand that genuine interest and genuine caring is that true strength.
And
Being able to being able to provide means giving people an environment to where they feel safe to be able to be fully who they are.
correct.
That is, did your just lights come on?
Yeah, it does it all the time. I don't know
Okay.
what
I was like, whoa, okay. I
it goes
was,
dim, it goes on. I don't know what it does whatever it wants to do.
no,
There's
I
no
just,
overhead light. All of the
yeah.
lights that you see are this, but it goes dim. I don't know.
Well, I think it's interesting to look at that is those lights come on when I'm saying this, the
Yeah,
need for people to recognize there is great strength in being authentic and vulnerable.
yeah,
There's great power in that because when children learn that at a young age from both of their parents or their adults, they know it's okay. Then they become connected. They stay connected and plugged in to a higher sense. And unfortunately, people are truly disconnected from their from from where they come, who they are, what they want, what are their desires instead of what they see on TV. It's
yeah,
like read a book,
yeah.
put down the phone, talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your neighbors.
Well, we've had the lackadaisy. I mean, how'd Trump get in? Because everybody went dormant. So
Yes.
once that awakening happened, we have that pendulum. You know, they were all quiet and sleepy, nobody voted, and we're like all done, you know, whatever. And then the pendulum happened where we had to now pay attention and we had to put so much emphasis on it. The only thing is that we're staying there. It's like Biden won. We were hoping to kind of come back around and get a little bit of balance, but that's not what happened. So we had to come back up and stay there. because we
Yes.
cannot let the ball go. And I think that is what is going on. And we're getting weary. We're getting oversaturated. There's no doubt about it, but we can't give up the fight. And that's just because we don't know how much to give per day, how much to let it go per day. We're just figuring that out. Like I have the same thing. Like I'll take a couple of days off. I mean, I'm not looking at my phone, I'm not looking at my YouTube, I'm not looking, you know what I mean? I gotta get out. And my job helps with that. You know what I mean? I get to
Sure.
focus on something totally completely different, and I get to do that. But that's, I think, is what's happening is we were not allowed to let that pendulum swing and get back into balance because of all of this.
Yes. And so I'm pulling more cards. And again, we have the King of Pentacles.
Money,
Money is a driving factor.
always.
However, there's also the Ace of Wands. There's that new inspiration. People are starting to see some stars in the sky, things that they're looking at and dreaming of. And then so of the five cards, three of them are major. We have the world. The world needs to show up and help us with this and remind us what's going on, because we are no longer who we were in the world
Yeah.
when this happened.
Yeah.
We're now getting people are pointing at us. The world shows up, excuse me, the Wheel of Fortune, things are going to change.
Yeah.
Things are definitely going to change. And we have the Hierophant, which is, and the message with that is, let's put in those rules and those structures and those guidelines to help people make smart decisions and informed decisions, instead of just said, well, this is what I got the leaflet on my car about, so I should just do that.
Right.
Set that up. And oh, and this is also, people need to get a sense of their spirituality again.
Oh, I have
There's
been saying that there's a lot of people that are waking up, and some of them are being forced woken, and that's perfectly great. And I see that Wheel of Fortune as a completion. Like we have been dealing with racism and all of that for a very, very, very long time, and I see that Wheel of Fortune as a completion. Like we are
yes.
going to complete this circle. We're going to go into, you know, into the future like Star Trek has, and we're going to remember this as a worst time of our you know, our humanity, but yet,
Yes.
you know, and it'll be all over with at some point in time. I know it's hard to believe, but you know, as we go through this, that Wheel of Fortune comes up a lot in our readings when it comes to America. And yes,
Mhm.
we got definitely knocked off our pedestal,
Oh, yes. And
shoved off. In fact,
yes.
we are not allowed to climb up there again until we fix it.
Well, and yes, and some of the world is willing to help us
They
do
are.
that.
They are putting their energy with us. I agree.
Yes. Yes. And so when people who are watching this video and they take time to think about positive things, things that they are doing, that people are doing, that they've seen, that's where we're going to get more of that energy. So,
I agree. I definitely agree with that. Okay. So what we have next, we have last is a card reading, right? That we're both going to do together. And this is about the
yeah.
Supreme Court. So Colorado went all the way up to their Supreme Court and says, yes, Trump did engage in insurrection. Therefore, the 14th Amendment, the third, whatever, says, yeah, he doesn't qualify. Now, that reading was based on what the Supreme Court's going to say, right? They put a stay on it and all that. We're waiting for that. So then Maine does the same thing. Now, Trump has asked the Supreme Court to please look at this. So we do get them looking at this finally. Of course, if you know, when Trump asked for it, you know, oh yeah, we'll do it. But they're going to do this, and I think it's in February, somewhere in the first part of February. They're going to take this on and ask questions and find out if the states has the right. Each state has the right to remove him from their ballots, or they don't, or they're going to talk out both sides of their butt and say, hey, you know, abortion, they can have their own decision, but not, you know, in the 14th Amendment, they can't have their own decision. So they're just gonna either fly something's going on. So I just want to see at this point in time, what is their consensus at this point in time
Okay.
on this whole subject? And when you lay yours out, you can go for it.
Okay. So looking at this. They have one of the things that is really important is they have to make these decisions quickly and much more quickly than they are comfortable with doing. They're getting that pressure they've got to make these decisions fast. They don't like that because they like to drag their feet, because when they drag their feet, people figure things out, they drop off line. And this is yeah. Wow. They are, they're not, there's so much conflict between what the passion of what they want to do and what they have to do in their mind, the obligations that they have met. Is that making any sense? The obligations, okay, I'll just say it, the underhanded money, the agreements that they've had, the old boys club, whatever you want to call it. Are they going to keep that together, or are they going to, allow themselves to do things differently? I actually think what they need to do, they need to sequester the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And seriously, they need to sequester the Supreme Court, cut them off from any outside contact so that they can work through this.
Yeah.
And they're going to need somebody to lead them with that. So and no decision is going to make everybody happy. I think they are going to I get a feeling that a couple of the justices may actually show up and get inspired to start pushing this. That can only happen if they get them out of the limelight and they put them, do you remember? I don't know if your parents ever did this, but you stay in that room and come out when you've got figured it
Right.
all out.
Yeah.
It's almost
Yeah.
like that.
When you guys can talk nice to each other, that's when you guys can come out.
Yes. Do not make me pull this car over.
Yeah.
But I'm still processing if you want to
Okay.
go.
Well, what I got was the Seven of Pentacles, right? That constant effort from Trump's side. Constant. And I got the Wheel of Fortune, the completion of this. The Wheel of Fortune, the completion. The destiny, the karma, the energy building up to the big yes or no. We also have the Queen of Wands, which is that vigilant, but I also have the Five of Swords. So there is this lying and cheating and betrayals. Either they feel betrayed, or they want to betray the United States, kind of representing the United States. There's some sort of deceit and loss and defeat that they're feeling. Either it's for the United States or for their jobs. I mean, once Trump gets in, they're not needed.
Yes.
They have really got to understand that no dictator needs a Supreme Court. I guarantee you that they're not going to be needed.
Yes.
In fact, if they're going to be Trump's leeches, then they will always have to side with him. So they're listening to the betrayal and the loss and they're really kind of thinking about that. Then I got the Knight of Pentacles, and I get the ending of the Knight of Pentacles. Like, we've got to stop this. We've got to get this. Or this is another thing, another avenue is their money has stopped.
Yes.
they're not getting the money that they used to. They're not getting paid off like they used to. Nobody's supporting them like they used to. I mean, because I got the Page of Pentacles here, which is the new opportunity. I thought, oh, good, they're going to go for a new job. Somebody else, he's got to go do something else. And then I got the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles on that is they want to Trump, he needs to be taken off. He cannot have any more oxygen anymore.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I do kind of feel that they are at this point in time, like they are going, you know what, he's got to go. If anything, they can be selfish and self-centered if they're for their own jobs. So what else you got?
I also got the Five of Pentacles in my reading. I got the the King of Wands, which goes with your Queen of Wands. I think there's going to be a unified approach to this. It's yeah. And you got the Seven of Pentacles, was that right? Or
I got the hang on, let me look and see what I got.
got a seven? Because
Yes, I got the Seven of Pentacles.
I got two other sevens, Seven of Swords and Seven of Cups. They are dreaming about how they're going to get out of this and how they're going to actually survive.
Yeah.
So the Seven of Swords is oftentimes the card of deceit, dishonor, and they're some of them are blocked in.
I
Some of
agree.
them are locked in.
100% agree that they have dug their own grave.
Yes. But I get this feeling that there may be three. This is the Three of Wands. There may be three of them who are actually looking outside of their pocketbooks and looking into what is going to be left for their great grandchildren, perhaps, and what damage they're doing.
I hope so.
Gosh, I hope so too. Ruth is like going, there better be.
I hope she is in that building just suffocating everything that she knows is not right.
She may be mislaying some things that people are looking for.
Ah.
Or maybe making that extra sheet of paper go into the shredder that shouldn't go.
Yeah. She's switching some things around.
Yes, and she's doing things with paper clips, is what I'm hearing. She's I don't know what that means, but it's like, what is going on with that?
I hope the conservative ones are getting scared and then the Democratic ones are just laughing like
Yes.
oh
Well, and
my
it's so, I mean, and here's the challenge, of course, is okay, we do this, then what else are we going to need to do? What other, how are we going to
they
how
have a
we're going
lot of they have a lot of questions to head in their way. Number one, does he have complete immunity? Number two, can he be removed from the ballot because of the 14th Amendment? I mean, they have a lot of things to work through on what they have done.
yes. Yes. Which is why I think the idea of them being sequestered and having the alone time and having someone lead them through all of these things line by line would be
Yes.
extremely helpful. I wonder if Jack would help.
Jack Smith.
Yeah.
Jack Smith is he has I'm pretty sure this is my kind of thinking, and I kept on getting this picture is that he keeps on let me back up a little. These people who are in high level places like Jack Smith and all of them and the Justice Department, the judges and all that, they communicate with each other. You think that everybody's separate, but they're not. They have been in the same circles for years. They go to dinner together. You know what I mean? They attend the same whatever. And so, anyways, I'm pretty sure he might be getting here to talk to us like, I have this evidence right here. This is really what's going on. Do you really, he's almost like pushing them to check your conscience.
Yep.
Check your conscience and your gut and see what you think. And I'm pretty sure he, that information and that conversation is happening without all of us knowing it.
Mhm. Oh
I don't
yeah.
think they're oblivious. I really don't. I think they know. I think they see it. I think they see the writing on the wall.
Yes. And there's that you were talking we've been talking about money. I got the King of Wands and the excuse me, the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles together in the same position. So people are going to they're going to find a balance to it. Um, there's going to be some structure about that. This last reading that I pulled looks really delightful because I'm like going, I have the Queen of Swords whispering into the sun, telling, helping that enlightenment happen. Maybe that's Ruth. And we are coming back to balance, the Two of Pentacles and the Star. Two of Pentacles is a great card. We have to have
Yeah.
that balance.
Yeah.
Star is very much the universal blessing card. Every time I see it, it's like the universe is conspiring for us to be successful with this.
Correct.
Uh, and then my indicator card is with the Ace of Wands. There's got to be people who are really inspired to force different behavior and different decisions and different passions. And because when that passion, that new inspiration hits, it's going to be lasting.
Yes. I 100% agree. I mean, um, I I know that ever since I was like 33, 34 years old, I have been told by our people in our community, we are going to be going through a transition, right? And being that young, you're like, oh yeah, whatever. And then we hit it. And it just like it wakes you up so much. I mean, here it is.
Yes.
Here it is. And I'm just hoping that it goes faster than what I mean, 10 years of a transition is really nothing compared to in the universe. It's nothing. It's like a blink of an eye. And 10 years seems to be about the transition. If you go back in time in this country, every 10 years, something drastic has changed. Something is, it took us 10 years to get out of, with the Iraqi war, it was 20 years. I hope it doesn't last 20 years, but it
Yes.
does take some time to move out of that.
Yes.
And that's why we're here. I think that the abundance of our community and the abundance of the psychic readers and things like that, they're just I mean, abundance. Before, back in the day, is like 5, maybe 4. I found, throughout my whole life. And here it's like abundance. And so that's why we're here to produce the energy that we were meant to do.
Yes. And I think that's so true, especially people, they need to build the energy in their own way because that variety of energy building, you do it your way, I do it my way, the best chatters do it their way.
Yeah.
Each individual, that helps. That adds to it. That adds variety and strength. And it allows for it to be a healthy building of this energy
Yes.
for the desired outcome. That's so important.
Absolutely. 100%. And the more that we teach to purify and clarify your energy,
Hmm.
the better off we're going to feel, and the better off
Yes.
the future is going to be pure.
Yes.
That's one thing. We don't want to take this energy with us anymore. We're going to
No.
leave that at the state line.
Well, leave it in the rubble of the tower.
Yeah, leave it. Leave it all behind, all of it. So yeah. Well,
So,
thank you so much.
you.
Yes, this has been so fascinating, and you're always welcome on my channel for sure.
Thank
And I
you.
hope everybody that is watching, if you made it this far, please go subscribe. I don't know which way it is. This way? Okay. Yes, subscribe to Tarot Stash. If I get it together in time, I'll put his link underneath this video
You.
so that you can just click on it and then you can go right to it. But anyway, is there any last words that you would like to leave us with?
what you think matters and how you think about what you think about matters. Ground yourself, make sure you're hydrating, and for goodness sakes, remember to laugh, especially at yourself. That immediately lightens the mood.
It does. Always find something funny. Oh, yes. And of course, get yourself a fan.
Get yourself
So
a fan.
neat. All
Oh,
right, everyone. Bye.
bye.